Okay, hi everyone. How are you doing, guys? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, so welcome everyone to the Network Journey SD-WAN course. So today
Mhm.
we're gonna start with the SD-WAN course. So first two classes are free for everyone. After that, we're gonna lock this meeting.
Today is
Okay,
like a proper class, or like you will just give introductions or something like as
so
you
what do
did,
you want?
as you given regarding
Hmm,
this MPLS, BGP, and they're at that
hmm,
time your main purpose was so we can see like how you teach, right?
hmm. So
So what
have
about
you
this
enrolled or you're not yet enrolled
for OSPF?
for this one, SD-WAN?
For SD-WAN, like I still not enrolled.
Okay, so what does it matter? So whether that is a
just
class or not a class. Anyways, guys, that's okay. No issues.
mm,
So let me explain you. Okay, Asif. So we're gonna talk about that. So my name is Shank, and I will be your instructor for this course. Okay, and I'm having total 13 years of experience in networking and having CCI three triple CCI, CCN service, routing switching service provider and data center. And always doing the trainings on all these subjects like your SD-WAN, ACI, ANT, okay, VXLAN, all that stuff. So that's a brief intro about me, guys. And I want you guys to provide me your introduction as well, like what is your name, total years of experience, and what is your expectation from this course, okay, related to SD-WAN. So any one of you can start, unmute and provide your introduction. Thank you.
yeah, this is Akif speaking, and basically, I have like a 5 year plus experience, and right now I have experience in routing, switching, MPLS, and also like security firewalls. And
Mhm.
basically, right now I'm working on the Huawei products. So Huawei, in Cisco, I think this is Vectila for SD-WAN. But on the Huawei side, they are giving solution like NC Cloud Campus.
Mm.
So NC Cloud Campus mean like SDXS, and SD-WAN like SD-WAN like as a Cisco. So because I have a little experience in SD campus like SDXS, so I want to cover both things like in Cisco as well, like SDXS and SD-WAN.
Okay, welcome, Ramzan. So, okay, great. Next.
Hi, myself Kishore. I got around 15 years of experience in networking and security.
Mm-hmm.
I am double CCIE. I was working mostly on the management point of view for the past 4 years, and right now I'm looking for a change again back to technical. Yeah.
Mm.
So in terms of experience, I mean, I got experience mostly in Cisco. Other than Cisco, I got good experience on Checkpoint, Palo Alto.
Mm-hmm.
And on the management point of view, I got CISSP as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
my
welcome.
expectation from this course is more to understand more on SD-WAN solutions, and my organization is actually piloting a lot of SD-WAN solutions like Versa, then 128 from Juniper, then Viptilla from Cisco as well.
Mm-hmm.
So to get more information, more ideas of SD-WAN and how the different flavors. I mean, in terms of other Viptilla is quite popular. In terms of Juniper, I think even the Juniper team itself, they are not in a position to do the POCs right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
welcome. Yeah, welcome, Kishore. Mm-hmm. Okay, next.
Hi, my name is Wajuddin.
Mm-hmm.
I am working in Rambol as a network engineer for last 10 years. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically in only network side thing only, like a routing switching. So
Mm-hmm.
in my office structure, they have started planning a SD-WAN. So I thought to
Mm-hmm.
study.
So for Viptela SD-WAN or any other flavor?
We are going for this only, like Viptala.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Welcome. Next. Okay, next. Okay. So anyone here who is joined for like previously also attended the this SD-WAN class or any demo related to SD-WAN, my demo only for network
Not
training?
not really.
Okay, so this is the first time all of you are here, right? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
for the SDN when like first time, I already took your OSPF BGP session.
Okay. Okay. Great.
and I
So for
enrolled for this course as well.
okay, great, Kishore. Okay, so this is the first time people you guys are joining for the SD-WAN. Okay, so I'm gonna start from the scratch and so again we're gonna start from the very basic building block and then we're gonna go advanced. So I'm gonna quickly tell you guys what we're gonna cover it up as a part of this course for this SD-WAN class. Okay, and then we're gonna start with the topic. Okay, so I hope you guys are able to see my screen, right? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So this is a CCNP enterprise track, and there are different exam concentration exams, course exam is there in there. So as a part of SD-WAN, like if we talk about the Cisco SD-WAN, okay, so this is what we gonna implement is this exam, okay, which is ENSDWI. This is what we're gonna take as a part of this syllabus, and this is complete. We're gonna do. Okay, with theory and lab practicals. So again, it is having all the topics which we need to cover. Okay, from the scratch to the advance. Okay, and with the labs as well. So course overview.
Sir, one more thing. Actually, my objective is not on certification. I would like to understand more on the technology perspective.
Yes, so I also gonna do the classes on the technology perspective. Like only the difference is I need to tell you that from how much we're gonna cover it up. Okay, so if you want to see like what you're gonna cover it up, so these are the things we're gonna cover it up. Okay, although I gonna start from the scratch and focus more on the technology, how it's gonna work, what is the difference on that stuff. Asim, for others, I think my audio is good for them. So please check your end. I think you will have some issues in getting the audio only. Okay. So this is what we're gonna cover. Okay. We will have our own inbuilt lab topology. You can see it is here. Okay. We're gonna discuss about that. We're gonna go to the dashboard of vManager. We're gonna see how we're gonna do all the stuff. Okay, and again, this is also we're gonna build it from the scratch. Okay, even the IP addresses we're gonna give it from scratch. Okay, so nothing is gonna be pre-configured, only the connections are there, and we're gonna build everything from scratch. Okay, so this is gonna be a topologist. Then we are having a workbook as well. Okay, which is gonna be divided into 10 different sections. So let me just quickly show you that as well, and then we're gonna start. So right now here it is not there. So again, I'm gonna show you in some time. Okay. So before we do, let's start with the topics. Okay, let's start with the first topic. So let me stop the sharing here and let me share the platform. Okay. So as before we're gonna start with the SD-WAN, we need to understand what do you understand by SDN. So do anyone know what is software-defined networking? What are the important characteristics of software-defined networking?
Like we manage our network centrally managed through software or application, and even we can deploy the complete network through the application and software.
But which software?
Here we like Webtilla. Like Webtilla complete technology, so it will have different like sections or layers.
Okay. What are the two things which will make the SDN a different like characteristic of a SDN? If I say, what are the two things there which is not present in your normal solution?
Quick provisioning, then centralized visibility of full network from a single touch.
So there we will have one thing is which is known as centralized controller, which is gonna manage everything from central point of location. What else? Second one.
Provisioning, if in legacy network, if you want to configure multiple routers, we may need to console or we may need to have the remote SSH to those particular devices and do these configurations. Once it comes to software defined, the intelligence is on the orchestrator or the centralized appliance, which will automatically push, or we can do many of the manual tasks can be automated.
But many of the tasks can be automated without even SDN solution or not. Like
Yeah,
in NXOS, I can do that thing.
Like this one is a zero touch provisioning as well. Like we can connect our APIs directly to the switches, and it will comes up with all the configurations. So like in the traditional network, like which will take a few weeks or months. So with this, like we can take only like days, hours, like even.
Other than on the automation part, one good feature is, I mean, it will be bringing security as well to the edge level as well. So what it means is, if there is a vulnerability in one of the application, one of the operating system, one of the iOS or XOS or something, so from CISCO itself we will get the feed and we can do mitigations. Then the full visibility of the traffic, like the net flow will come to the edge, and I mean we'll be able to see application centric, similar to how we do in Palo Altos or checkpoints.
Actually, I am sharing my knowledge like a point because I have a little bit experience on like Huawei. So in Huawei, like they don't have any like security feature inbuilt in like SD solution, right? So like on the edge of each branch, we connecting the firewalls, and the firewalls is like responsible for the controlling all like security things.
Okay. What else? So there is one more feature which is known as separation of control plane from data plane. So the device which are forwarding your data do not run the control plane over it. Your control plane is there on different device, which can be a controller or which can be some device. Okay, which can make it.
Okay, two different types of devices, like for control panel different device and data plane different device, right? Okay.
Right. So if we talk about the SDN solution, okay, every company is gonna make or already have the SDN solutions, right, for different environments. So when Cisco also started, they started for the SDN solution for data center, for your WAN, for your branch. Okay. So the solution which they started with the ACI is for the data center. Okay, that is known as ACI. Okay, For this, it is SD-WAN, Cisco SD-WAN you can write. And the branch, it is going to be Cisco SD-Access.
Okay. We will also cover SDXS.
Yes, so here is also, it is known as SD-Access. Okay, then there is a controller in every of the solutions. So here in ACI, the controller is known as Epic. In SD-WAN, there are 3 different controllers, which is going to manage the things. And then you will have a DNAT controller, which is there in your SD-Access. Okay.
Perfect.
So now we're going to focus here on SDN solution for WAN. Okay. Also, some people will confuse like what is Viptela SD-WAN and what is Cisco SD-WAN. Okay, so let me just give you a brief history of 1 minute or 2 minutes so that will remove your confusion of that. Okay. So what is going to happen is when the SD-WAN solution comes, Cisco comes up with its solution known as Cisco IWAN. Okay, so that is a solution of Cisco which they put it for SD-WAN. Okay, there is one company which is known as Viptela, which develops the SD-WAN solution, which known as Viptela SD-WAN. Okay, now what is going to happen is Cisco acquired that company. Okay, some years back, and after the acquisition, they change it to Cisco Viptela SD-WAN. Okay, and nowadays, if you see, they removing this word from their documents, so now you will get it Cisco SD-WAN. Okay, but people will also call it Viptela SD-WAN. But nowadays, in Cisco documentations, you will find it with Cisco SD-WAN. Okay, so this is going to be our history related to this. Okay, which will lead to some more things like when Cisco acquired it. So the devices which are running, which are of Viptela devices. Okay, so now they are running Viptela OS. They not run Cisco iOS. So that is also there. Okay, even right nowadays also those devices are present. Okay, we're gonna talk about that. Okay, so this is a history of how the SD-WAN things are there. Okay, so now after this, let's understand the basic of why we use WAN. So why we use WAN? What is the need of WAN?
For connecting the wide area, connecting the branch to data centers, interconnecting the branches.
Okay.
To communicate with the outer world, like with SD-WAN, like we can give services of internet, like basic services to the branches also.
Okay. So basically WAN is going to be used to connect your different remote sites with each other. They can be your data center, they can be your remote offices, right? So for example, headquarter, data center, your remote site, right? Your different branches and your Soho offices, all that stuff. Okay, so that is WAN is going to be used for those. What are different ways by which we can connect? Physical ways.
Internet, MPLS.
Just let me write it down. Internet, MPLS. So internet, okay.
Metro,
What else?
Metro Ethernet.
What else?
And these are the current ones. Earlier ATM.
4G or something.
I got some voice. Hi, so is it Usman?
Hi, Shank. Yes,
Okay, how are you, man? Long time.
yes.
Okay,
Busy
great.
in
Welcome.
event. Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, so yeah. Uh, what else? 4G, 5G internet. What else?
POE.
Satellite is.
So PPO is again you can count it in into internet. Okay, so satellite. Okay, so these are some ways, and also lease line. P2P. Okay, so these are some of the different ways by which you can connect, right? So first of all, guys, your SD-WAN is a overlay solution. Okay, what do you understand by overlay?
It will work over underlay network.
Mm-hmm. So what
Underlay
happens in overlay? So if I saying overlay, what is the first word comes in your mind?
MBLS. MBLS is an overlay VPN.
Mm-hmm. What else? So it needs an underlay network to run. So and it's gonna build a tunnel, okay, from one side to another. Okay. So SD-WAN needs first of all the connectivity between your endpoints. Okay. So it needs the underlay connectivity. So this underlay connectivity you need to provide via any of these solutions that we have written, which is here. If you see, we have written around 7 solutions. Okay, MPLS, internet, all that stuff. So SD-WAN is not a replacement for any of these solution. Okay. So some people will say SD-WAN can replace MPLS. So again, not directly, indirectly you can replace it. How we can talk about it, but not exactly directly we can replace it. Okay. So that is the first point.
sorry, actually, you're telling like this overlay network can be implemented through these 7 ways, right?
Yes. So first of all, overlay needs underlay, right? Underlay connectivity. So this underlay connectivities need to be provided via any of these method. Okay. Whatever you like, you can use to provide the underlay connectivity. Okay. Because for example, if you see the diagram above, this headquarter branch, okay, whatever the IP here and whatever is like, for example, this branch. Okay. So headquarter and branch. So they need to have a first connectivity. Okay. Before you do any tunnel over it. And then once you have a connectivity, you can make a tunnel. Okay. So can you make a tunnel without the connectivity?
No.
No.
Right? If you want to go from here to here, this tunnel you cannot get it, right? Unless until you will have a connectivity. So this underlay connectivity needs to be provided. Okay. And that needs to be provided via any of these medium which is there already for you. So direct replacement is not present. Okay. Like if you say I can remove MPLS and I can run SD-WAN, you can do it by replacing the MPLS via internet links. Okay. But it is not like you can remove you have only MPLS link, you removed it and then you can run SD-WAN. Okay. So that is not the case. Got it, guys? So this is a myth for a lot of people, which I try to cover up.
Like, but
Yes.
in this way, like this SD-WAN is depended on these 7 like underlay network. Like if we will talk about like MPLS, in MPLS is not depending on all these things. It is
Mm.
like having its own infrastructure, like L2 VPN, L3 VPN. It can provide to customers directly. But in
Hmm.
this SD-WAN point of
So
view, if you want to
SD-WAN
connect,
needs,
yes,
yes, SD-WAN needs your connectivity first,
yes,
because the tunnel that you want to form via SD-WAN needs reachability. Same concept like you are having a GRE tunnel. How you gonna form a GRE tunnel over
yes,
internet,
yes, got it, yes.
right? First you want to have a connectivity from your between your sites, then only over it you can form a GRE tunnel, right? So that is what same concept here. Okay, this tunnel that I am showing in SD-WAN, this is a IPsec tunnel by default. If you want, you can instead of IPsec run the GRE. What is the difference between IPsec and GRE?
IPsec is secure, while GR is not a secure tunnel.
Okay, so again, SD-WAN give you both the options. By default, it's gonna form a IPsec tunnel over a circuit. But if you are don't want to make IPsec, then you can form the GRE. And this tunnel creation is automatic, guys. So no IPsec configuration, no GRE configuration you need to put. Okay, only you need to just give one command, which is encapsulation, either IPsec or GRE. That's it. There are no crypto commands. There are no. So if you are not a security person, do not worry. Okay, you don't need to learn any security thing before coming to this. Okay, you just know the basic things like what is IPsec tunnel, right? So it's gonna secure a connection between your two sides. That's it. This is the understanding. You will have it. Okay, and you can form. You can start with the SD-WAN through that as. So guys, so those who are not speaking, please put your mic on mute. Okay, so that we will not get any disturbance. So Ojo, please do not unmute your mic. Okay, thank you. Sam, related to the course code, you can directly contact at the backend team, okay, of the network journey. They're gonna provide you the cost and all. Okay, so guys, let's understand what is gonna happen in the at the very high level. Okay, then we're gonna go into a deep dive. So here, if we talk about, for example, I have this one headquarter, okay, and this is my site one. This is my site number two. Okay, and I am having a circuit, and this is gonna be, you can assume whatever service provider. Okay, let me write service provider, so we don't care what is there. Okay, as of now. So now what is gonna happen is these are different sites which I am having. Okay, so how many tunnels we gonna form between these sites? Can anyone tell me? In
3 tunnels.
SD-WAN.
3
Okay, so from where to where?
to SP1 to the particular nodes, SK1.
Mm-hmm. So this one and
Yeah,
this
that's
one,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, and if we got one more provider, okay, which is not even connected to each other. So over that also we're gonna form the tunnels, right?
Replicate the same.
Okay, so again, I'm having a connectivity like this. So same type of concepts. We're gonna form a tunnel. One is here, another one is like that, and third one is via this. Okay. So these are all the different tunnels that we create, and these are gonna be IPsec tunnel by default, so it's gonna protect your traffic. Okay. Now let's talk about the features which is gonna be provided via the SD-WAN to. So what are the advantages of using the SD-WAN? Okay. So the first advantage is it is not carrier dependent. You can use any carrier to build your connectivity, and then IPsec, and then your SD-WAN tunnel you can form over it. Okay. So then what is this, how this is beneficial for you?
Instead of buying the costly internet lease line, I can buy multiple of broadband links and use it.
So instead of MPLS or lease lines, you can now go with your internet
Broadband.
links.
Yeah.
Or broadband, right?
Yeah.
So why we use basic MPLS?
MPLS for the dedicated private VPNs, one-to-one.
So dedicated is for you, but it is actually not dedicated.
Yeah,
You know that.
On the service provider wise, it is shared.
So service provider, it is gonna share the things, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. But what is the advantage of MPLS?
MPLS mainly, if you want to connect multiple sites, so only the PEC connectivity is required. There is no end-to-end connectivity, end-to-end VPN like IPsec is not required.
So you can do that thing with internet as well.
This is a fast connection, and the service provider will provide this type of connect.
Now fast connections, no one beat internet.
One more thing, you have the full control of routing. On top of the particular tunnel, you can run anything. You can run the kind of protocols, even if it is L3. If it is L2, you can run anything over that. Any kind of
So
traffic.
I can build the GRE tunnel or IPsec tunnel with GRE over internet, and I can have a full control of routing. No one is gonna stop me.
It is
No,
costly.
no, actually, yeah, internet is costly, and here we will be having a
Internet
dedicated.
is costly than MPLS. This is not the
MPLS
case.
is costly actually.
So then why we use it?
Traffic engineering.
No, compared to internet, MPLS is secure, Shank. Actually, they will
So
provide
yes. So
allocate
this
a
is one
dedicated
I can take this point. Okay. So one is security. What else?
Second, actually, in terms of cost, actually, it is something debatable because it varies from country to country. In some countries, internet is very costly. These lines are very costlier than MPLS, and MPLS is
the
much.
shortest path.
Someone is writing, like Sam is writing in the chat, that it is reliable. So reliability I can write. Okay, so if you are saying like in some countries it is MPLS is cheap than your internet, so again, for those country better to use MPLS only. Okay, you can run SD-WAN tunnel over MPLS as well, so no issues in that. Okay, what is any other reason? So great QoS, guarantee bandwidth, right?
Then
Yeah,
QoS, traffic engineering, you can do.
So again, that all things we can go and put it into the reliability, right? So QoS, traffic engineering, that all things. One more thing is like
MPLS will be managed by the provider.
So what
Like
else? Internet is also gonna be managed via provider.
No. Mean to say routing or all the stuff.
So it doesn't matter for you. Okay, your routing, it is gonna give you the end-to-end connectivity. Internet is also giving you the end-to-end connectivity. Okay, it doesn't matter. Inside
Guaranteed
internet.
Guaranteed bandwidth.
Yeah, so guarantee bandwidth. Yeah, guarantee bandwidth is we can consider. Okay, which is comes into the reliability. And one more thing is your private IPs you can run over it, right? Which you can run over GRE as well. Okay. So again, these are some of the consideration we can consider if you talking about cost. So mostly MPLS is costly than internet, but yes, if you have in some countries where MPLS is cheaper, then it's okay for those. Okay. So now here, SD-WAN will give you the security. Okay. Because on SD-WAN, what you are doing is you are making the IPsec tunnel, which will provide you the security. Okay, related to the reliability, now you will get a lot of the business internets links, which will provide you the same type of reliability. Okay, and this type of QoS or traffic engineering, now you can do it via SD-WAN. Okay, SD-WAN, you can set your QoS, you can set your traffic engineering as well. Okay, if you have multiple service providers to go from one location to another on a application level as well, now you can set your providers. Okay, like particular application traffic, I need to send it via this provider. This particular application traffic, I need to send it via this provider. This level of granularity now is there in your hand, okay, with SD-WAN. That is known as application aware routing, which is known as, which works on the layers 5 to layer 7 deep packet inspection. So your MPLS enabled routers can now route your traffic based on application. Okay. Then private IPs over the tunnels you can run. Okay. You can run SD-WAN behind the net. So all the things which you are getting it via MPLS, you are getting it over SD-WAN as well. And also, if you can now set your SLA. Okay. If your SLA is breached, so this is what you can set it on your point. Okay. Like so what are the different SLAs when you do it with the service provider? What are the three things there? Your loss,
Reachability, yes, loss, reachability.
your jitter, and your delay. So these things you can set, okay, as per your application, as per your traffic. And if any of these is gonna be breached, your traffic is gonna be automatically shifted to a different provider. You don't need to do anything. You just need to set a policy and then your traffic is going to be automatic shifted. You can set it application wise. You can set it for a complete traffic. You can set it for TCP, UDP, port wise, whatever you like. Okay, so now you will have all the power in your hands, how you want to send your traffic over the provider. Okay, so again, these are some of the things which is going to provide you the flexibility with. Okay, so now you can negotiate on the cost, whether you negotiate with your MPLS provider, whether you negotiate with your internet provider, you can negotiate over it. Okay. You will have so this is again some of the advantages which I'm writing. Okay. You will have zero touch provisioning. So which gonna automates your day zero, day one task. What are day zero, day one? Any architect here?
Not
Okay.
architect, like day zero, maybe planning and then day one implement.
But implementation up to which level? Because we are having day two as well.
Like
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, it
So
will take
if
the automatic configuration if we want to push any from the DHCP server and IP and all.
so what is going to happen is, for example, you are running with some set of sites, okay, over the providers, and now one more site comes up. So this new site, first of all, what is going to be there? You need to do the so planning is already there, right? You are running the setup, okay. So planning is already done. Now it's time to ship you the hardware. Cisco ship the hardware, okay. It reaches to the site. So after reaches, what is going to happen?
On the PNP portal, we should provide the BIPTEL serial number, model
So
number.
for PMP, we're going to talk about later on. First of all, you will get a device. So what you going to do with the device?
We will install on the site, like where we want to.
First thing is installation, okay, which is your racking and cabling, right? So that is done via L1 engineer, right? Or on-site support or local support, whatever you call it. So once the racking is done, okay, then what is going to happen is, so it will get a IP. So initial script is there, which is already present when the Cisco shipped. Okay, this initial script contains the DHCP server IP, like it needs to take a IP in your infrastructure. Okay, so there is a PNP portal, plug and play. Okay, PNP full form is plug and play. This is a Cisco portal. Basically, your Cisco SmartNet account is gonna be connect with this portal. Okay, and based on the serial number and based on other unique JC ID and all that stuff. It's gonna connect to your account. Okay. And from there, and how it's gonna connect to the Cisco portal? It will have a DNS entry of Cisco portal. Okay.
Yes.
So it's gonna connect directly to the Cisco portal. Then from there, it's gonna go to your SmartNet account based on the chassis number, serial number, and all that stuff. And then it's gonna take a configuration, not exactly the configuration. It's gonna take a root certificate. Okay, we're gonna talk about all what is root certificate and all that stuff. So again, this is a complete JTB process which we're gonna discuss later on. Okay, I'm just touching the high level points right now. So it's gonna take the IP address of your vBond. Okay, vBond is one of the controllers in SD-WAN. And then from there, it's gonna go to your vManage, which is another controller in your SD-WAN. It's gonna take a configuration from your vManage. Okay. And then from your events, it takes the configuration, whole configuration is gonna be deployed directly on your device. Okay. So it's gonna take automatically configuration from your controllers. How it's gonna do it? There is a complete process which I'm gonna talk about when we do the class. Okay. So this is zero touch provisioning where once you do the racking and cabling, after that, you don't need to have a L2 engineer to do the whole configuration or to put all the things. Okay. You will have a centralized control. Okay. You can do centralized monitoring. You can do centralized configuration. You can do centralized update of any of your remote SD-WAN device. Okay. SD-WAN devices are different routers. Okay. They are not your normal routers. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay. Related to the security part, if we talk about, so IPsec tunnels are there for your infrastructure. Then what is there? So edge security is there. Okay. So once before even bringing this whole SD-WAN environment, your device which is going to be connect to your SD-WAN needs to authenticate itself. Okay, it needs to authenticate itself with the vBond, and it's going to authenticate itself with the certificates, which is again based on PKI, public key infrastructure certificates. Okay, and then it's going to allow to talk on the once it is authenticated via your vBond. Okay, there's the vBond is one of the controller. Okay, we're gonna talk about vBond. Then it is gonna allow to talk in the fabric. Okay, so that is there. Your automatic tunnels is gonna be formed, and then you will have a edge security means you will have the device, you will have inbuilt firewall as well, which can do some of the limited task. Okay, you will have inbuilt IPS module, which is also present. URL filtering you can do, advanced malware protection you can do. So a lot of things you can do with the same device. Okay. You will have application aware routing, which I have already told you. For a particular application, you can set how you want to send the traffic. Okay, it's gonna use deep packet inspection, which is it's gonna inspect your packet at the L5 to L7. We will have a lab of it. We can do it. Okay. Then what else? You can do centralized troubleshooting. Okay. You will do automation, whatever is the automation you want to do with the scripts or REST APIs. Okay. Your Python, any of the language you can use to do the programming and automation. You can deploy the QoS directly on your SD-WAN device. Okay, they can do netting as well directly. Okay.
What's the NMS we are using to monitor the all the things, like it will be connected, or like we can see through NMS, right? All the
Which
alarms
LMS?
or all the things, like where we will see all the alarms, or we can
Yes.
monitor
So
the
that is,
alarms.
yeah, I'm coming on that part. Okay. So till here, anyone having any doubt, any question or anything you want to add?
Yeah, we need to attach a feature and device template also session.
So template and all that stuff is there, right? So we're going to talk about, so those are different things. Okay. So after this, let's talk about the controllers that we are having in the SD-WAN. So we are here, we are having three controllers. One is going to be vManage. Another is going to be vSmart. And third one is going to be vBond. And by the way, guys, this V, which you see, do not stand for virtual. Okay, although the controllers are virtual, but this we know is stand for Viptela. Okay. So these are running Viptela OS. Okay.
Like these are application controllers that we have to install on some servers, right?
Yes. Okay. So it comes in a package for your OVA package or QCOW2. You can install it directly on your hypervisor or on the KVM. Okay. So let's talk about these controllers now. So let's talk about first of all vManage. So this is the first controller that you are having. So it gonna sits in the management plane. What do you understand by management plane?
It will go for the in and out when management traffic. It will not participate in data and data plane, control plane traffic.
Yeah, that we know, but what is management plane in more detail?
It's managing the devices.
Right. So your complete device.
Yeah, managing the
Managing devices.
So your complete management is going to be done via this controller. Okay. So it's going to provide you GUI or CLI or API, whatever you want to do, you can do it with this. Okay. So this is the plane. I think who asked me, is it Akif, right? Akif. So this is the plane, which is where you're going to see all your faults, all your complete monitoring, everything, all your troubleshooting and all that stuff. Over this controller, you see it.
Okay, right.
Okay. So again, this is over, which will provide you centralized monitoring, your configuration, okay, and your troubleshooting. Okay, you can do your software upgrade directly from this as well. Now, important, this is the virtual appliance. Okay, so there is no physical vManage controller. Okay, this comes in a virtual form only, which you need to install it. You can install it either in your data center, which is either on-prem, or you can even install it over the cloud. Okay, all the clouds are supported, means main clouds are supported, like your Amazon, your Google Cloud, or your Microsoft Azure. Okay, and even Cisco also provides the cloud controller as a service, where Cisco is going to install it over the cloud for you, and they're going to have extra charge for that. Okay, and for redundancy, you can set active standby in cluster. Okay, you can go up to 6 controllers. So 6 vManage you can form. Okay, so normally one vManage is gonna support up to a 2000 edges, and I need to check that limit. Okay, so that limit is till the last year. I'm not sure right now. I will check that limit again. Okay, so 2000 edges. So again, if you go with 6 controllers, you can go up to 12,000 edges. Okay. So this is the main controller, guys.
2000 edges mean, sorry?
So again, I'm gonna talk. If you don't know what is edges, we're gonna talk about that. Okay. So this is the main controller, which is gonna do all the things, okay, for you. After that, the second controller comes.
So once it comes to connectivity, so this controller should be having management plane connectivity to all the edge devices. Is it correct?
So yes, they're gonna form a DTLS tunnel or TLS tunnels with all the devices.
Okay.
But that you can do it directly over the infrastructure, whatever you are having over the service provider. Okay. Next controller is vSmart. So again, guys, this is also a virtual appliance. So not come in physical form factor. It provides control plane. So your complete control plane is going to be there over this controller. This you can deploy as a active. Okay. In the active cluster, you can distribute your control plane information via this controller to all the edges. Okay, it distribute your control plane information. It distribute whatever the policies you configure. Okay, your control plane policies, some of the data plane policies as well. Okay, whatever you configure to your edges. Again, what is edges we're going to talk about. The third controller which is present is known as vBond. Okay, which sits in your orchestration plane. What do you understand by orchestration plane?
Data plane.
No.
It is a centralized plane actually. All the devices, all the edges are getting connected.
It is used for authentication. Even authentication, authorization.
What else? Okay, so where we're going to use, this is also known as security plane. So it's going to authenticate your edge devices when they come into the SD-WAN environment. Okay, so it's going to use certificates to whitelist your device. Okay, it's going to also authenticate your other controllers like your vManage and vSmart. So they're going to talk with each other. Okay. So if any of the device comes and it's gonna send a authentication request, so this controller will first serve that request, okay, via the Cisco PNP portal. So your request will go to the controller through that. Okay. So what is gonna happen there is you need to have this controller to be publicly available, publicly reachable, which means it needs a public IP. Okay, for the reachability, because your request will come over, it can come over internet as well. Okay, right now customer is not having the MPLS environment, so it can come over internet to this. Okay, or if it is not publicly, then you can do one-to-one net as well. What is one-to-one net?
Like it would translate from private to public.
Static net.
Okay, so one-to-one net is your static net. Okay, so this is what all your three controllers will do. Okay, now let's talk about the edges.
All these controllers is having some physical hardware, or these all three are physical hardware, right? If we are talking about three controllers, so these are three different hardware devices, or like they were installed under one like server. We will install these three packages like in a practical environment, like on enterprise level.
So on enterprise level, I am talking, that's why I'm writing here virtual appliance.
Hey Sean, one doubt actually. Like, you said this SD-WAN does not differ on the medium, right? For example, if we have internet connectivity and we establish, we use SD-WAN appliances. So if internet link goes down, does we lose SD-WAN connectivity?
Yes.
Yes, if you not have the backup link, then you will lose your tunnel will be down.
Okay, cool. Then I mean, like, what is that statement? I mean, it doesn't not depends on link, you said, right? I mean, like
the statement, it means it doesn't like do any differentiation between your MPLS or internet link.
Okay.
So you need to provide a connectivity. How you provided it, that is not going to affect your SD-WAN environment in some way. Okay.
Okay. Okay. But if physical link goes down, obviously we'll lose ending up with connectivity. Yeah.
Yeah, we will lose the
Yeah.
management of the devices.
Okay. Thank you.
You will lose your data plane as well.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, what is we talking about? Yeah, Akif. So we are talking about the physical or virtual. Okay, so guys, this is all comes in a virtual form factor, which is comes in a package, OVA package. Okay, no physical device. Your controllers are not physical.
Okay.
Okay, no hardware, no physical hardware, nothing. Yeah, these are comes in a virtual appliance package, which is OVA package .OVA or .QCAR2. Okay.
Right.
And
Now
this
let's
is
talk about
same for vBond as well. vBond is
yes,
also a virtual appliance, right?
yes,
Thank you.
yes. I think I've missed to write that. Okay, so all three controllers comes into a virtual appliance.
I have one more topic. VBond will be active or active passive?
Which one?
VBond.
So vBond, you can make it active passive. Okay, I need to check that, but again, vBond even one is more than enough. It just do the authentication. Okay.
And one more doubt. You are telling about the active passive, right? Can you use two cloud to use that setup actually? For example, I have Azure and AWS portal. Primary, I can keep in
You
Azure.
need to provide the connectivity between them if you use that way.
Okay, if you
Okay.
provide the
Your
connectivity, we can use it, right?
controllers, yes, your controllers need to talk to each other.
Okay, but that is possible, right? Nowadays.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So I have a question regarding if we have already implemented MPLS tunnels between our sites to head office, and we want to install parametering the edge network, which is calling overlay network, and we install routers or edge devices on all the sites. So for those edge devices, do we need a separate live IP, or we will use the same MPLS tunnels, underlay network for those edge routers?
So edge routers you are talking about related to SD-WAN or what? I'm not getting your
SD-WAN,
question.
yes, SD-WAN.
So let me finish the edge router topic, then I'm gonna come back to your question. Okay, I need to draw that. Okay.
Okay.
So we discussed that. So edges. Okay, so guys, first of all, understand these are not your controllers. Okay, edges are your routers. So these are gonna be devices which are gonna be there for your data plane. Okay, so you can also call it as WAN edge router. Okay, so they comes in both physical and virtual form, but in production we're gonna use physical only. Virtual is having a limitation of 10 Mbps throughput only. Okay, so you're gonna use physical. So now if we talk about these, you will have two edges, two type of edges. One is V edge, another one is C edge. Okay, so here this V represents what?
Virtual edge.
Okay, so this is gonna whenever in SD-WAN in Cisco SD-WAN, if you see any V, do not make it virtual. Okay, so that stands for Viptela. Okay, and C edge means this is a Cisco device. Means nowadays Viptela is also a Cisco device, but they not change the nomenclature. Okay, so here you will have Viptela OS on this. Okay, and here you will have Cisco iOS XE. Okay, so what are the different families you will have? Okay, so this is VH100, VH1000, VH2000, Okay, VH 5000. So again, the difference between them is related to the bandwidth capacity, how much throughput they can handle and how much ports they are having, like that. Okay. And then on the Cisco side, if we talk about, so you will have a support in your existing ISR 1100 series, ISR 4000 series. Okay. Your ASR 1000 series, then you will have something 8000 new series as well. Okay. So these are all the series which you have. Okay, then you will have different routers there in there. Okay, so what Cisco done in their environment is they already running it these series. Okay, so they added the SD-WAN support. So they added some code related to SD-WAN. Okay, so that code is added and then you can run SD. So this you can put it on your edge for the SD-WAN device. Okay, so your edge devices which is gonna form a tunnel with each other, they need to have from these families. Okay, so either Viptela or Cisco. Now Viptela is also part of Cisco, but again, that is what they use it till now. Okay, so these are all physical devices, guys. These are also physical. These all are also physical. Okay, then you for lab and test environment. Okay, you'll have virtual devices as well, which you can use for lab and test. Do not use it for production. Okay, so this is known as VH Cloud. Okay, and here it is, you will have CSR 1000V. Okay, so these are the two devices which you can get it as a virtual. Okay, and then you can use it. Okay, every edge devices you need to take a license to put it into the SD-WAN environment. And for SD-WAN controllers, you need to have a DNAC, your license needed for the DNAC and all that stuff. Complete kit is there. Okay, so now tell me what you're having the questions.
Is it recommended like to install firewall between like WAN edges and the like
So where we gonna install the firewall, between the edges or behind the edge? It depends on our scenario,
yes, yes.
our environment only. Okay, nothing like compulsion is not there.
But firewall is necessary, right? Yeah.
So again, it depends on your
Okay. Yeah.
traffic, all those stuff.
Okay.
So let me show you something more before we wrap up for today class. Tomorrow we're gonna do that lab. Okay, direct lab on how we're gonna configure these controllers. Okay, so we're gonna do the controllers lab. But before that, let me first quickly show you vEdges data sheet if anything change. Let's see. I have not even checked this data sheets from a lot of time. Okay, so for vEdges, again, I think they not added anything. Yeah, 6G, 4G. Okay, so these are your Viptela related devices. Okay, which is vEdge 100, vEdge 1000, which is having 8 ports, vEdge 2000, vEdge 5000. So again, if you want to see the differences, there is a complete sheet over it. Okay, where you can see the differences and all that stuff. Then for Cisco related, you will have ISR 1100. Okay, which is there, which has inbuilt 4G 60, what they call it, and you will have a ISR 4000, ASR 1000. Okay, so ENCS is also one of the series. It is ENCS 5000 series box, which is there. Okay, so that is there, and yeah, these are cloud. These are only virtual. Okay, so do not worry about these. Yeah, so these are the all series we still have. Okay. If we talk about controllers, Okay, so this is how you will get an image. .ova, .qcow2, like that. .vhdt tar gz, this is directly on the Azure image. So you can see like it's around 3 GB of it. Okay, so this is how you can get the images, which is virtual. Okay, for your controllers. Okay, so
Sir, I have a question, please.
yeah.
My question is regarding the deployment and the requirement of SD-WAN in an enterprise environment. Like if I talk about my company has one head office site and 5 sites which are distant like 600 and 800 kilometers away. So we have all our setup deployed in our head office like SAP application development, deployment, and all that stuff. And all sites have has their own data centers where the domain controllers and additional storages are installed and running, providing the services. And few services are have been taken from the cloud side, like email service and this type of. Do we need like 5 sites? Do we need a SD-WAN deployment, or that would be beneficial for us, or it is just a new thing to deploy? My question
So
is,
again, for 5 sites, I don't think so, to be really frank with you. But again,
okay.
what are the criterias why they are looking for SD-WAN? What are the issues you are having with your current environment?
Currently, we have as far as I'm leading one site as a network admin. I don't feel any problem. We have DM VPN tunnels with our head office, and SAP is running quite efficiently. No problem at all. So few 2 months back there was a meeting for the deployment of SD-WAN, and then I had for with the trainings few to get the knowledge about the SD-WAN, and that's what I get. For 5 sites there is no need for SD-WAN.
Yeah, but
That's
what is management response over the requirement? Why management is want to put the SD-WAN? Like if there any pre-sale comes and they're gonna explain, okay, SD-WAN will. I also talking with you like from past 1 hour, right? That SD-WAN will you do this thing well, SD-WAN will do this thing, this thing, this thing. But will it beneficial for your environment as only you are having 5 sites and your SAP is also running good?
Still, I don't feel that this is beneficial for us. For as far as we have 5 sites, like we don't need to deploy policies on day-to-day basis. Like what if I would say I am working in a bank that has 2,500 branches in the country, and we need to deploy security things and this type of stuff on day-to-day basis. Well, I agreed. We need to do that, and we have to manage a centrally managed devices. But for 5 sites, and where we know, I know I have the router which is installed in 2015, and I still have the same policies and same routing and same QoS has been deployed, and we have nothing to change with it during last 7-8 years. That was my point, and the discussion was without without any fruitful
Yeah, so
result.
again, it depends. So I can give you a short answer. The short answer is your pre-sales person told the story to the management. Now your management need to decide like if what they want to do. But again, for 5 sites is not necessary. But again, you first find out
There can
the
be
requirement.
sorry. There can be one like a possibility if they want to monitor all these 5 sites from their like head
Yeah,
office. So at that
to
time they can do this.
to monitor 5 sites, they can deploy any tool.
Yes.
They can add tool.
Okay.
We have already SolarWind, and all devices on the of
Yes.
sites those
Okay.
are added in SolarWinds. The
And
network monitoring is not
also, Akif, if you need to have deeper monitoring, then you need to buy Cisco Analytic license, which comes separate, okay, with SD-WAN.
So it
So
means
that
it is
we
not
have
available.
already
yes, it is.
CS Mars is
Mhm.
installed at head office for this
Yes.
particular purpose for deep monitoring. CS Mars is a
So
very powerful
yes,
device.
Asim, first of all, you need to find the requirement. Okay, so talk with your management, ask the solid requirement why they want it. Okay, then only
Right.
you will have the picture if they tell you about the requirement. Because again, Even for 5 sites in future, if they become 50, that is also you not have the requirement. Okay.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Okay. But anyways, you can learn the technology in
Yes,
future.
sir.
It
That's
will be
what I.
beneficial. Yeah. Even on not on this, then on any other
Yes, sir.
company.
But sir, like for example, if we are having like 5 or 10 sites, but like each site is having like a 1,000 plus site devices, then at that time we can do this, right?
Sorry.
Like for example, even we are having
Hmm.
5 sites
Yeah, if
or
you have, but again, it is a very less possibility that you are having 5 sites and you have thousands of devices on the edge level.
yeah, on the branch side, for example, if we are having one big like accommodations, we are giving internet services to them, and
Hmm.
like the
But again,
we are, okay.
edge level, how many routers you gonna build?
2, 3,
I'm
4
talking
max.
about like access points, like if we will configure this type of solution, and we are have to install like more than 700 access points.
So access point is not gonna be managed via SD-WAN.
Okay, okay, okay.
Access, it is not a DNAC. Okay, it is not XD-access. That happens in SD-access. Here, you're up to the edge router. That's it. After that, nothing is gonna be managed via SD-WAN.
So, but like if we are having this SD access solution, at that time, like we have to connect it to,
Mm.
or that is two completely different, like SD access and SD-WAN, right?
SD-access is a different infrastructure that is for your branch sites.
Yeah, exactly. We will cover this also.
No, SDX is not part of this course.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so guys, now let's see the topology which we wanna work on tomorrow. Okay, so you can see now there is a complete HQ site, which is alpha site we have created, which is only having the controllers. Okay, and then the other sites are having our edges. So you can see VH1, 2, gamma. Okay, so these are our VH devices. Okay, and then one site we are having CSR, which is Cisco Edge, and they are connected with each other through these 3 different providers. Okay, so again, these just to provide the connectivity, MPLS, internet, 4G. Okay, but yeah, we're gonna talk about there is something color which we're gonna use in SD-WAN to identify the circuit. Okay, so we're gonna differently use these providers. Okay, so you can see like if any edge wants to send a traffic to edge, okay, your traffic will go directly data plane traffic. Okay, your traffic will not hit to the controllers. Okay, so your controllers can be part of any site, whether they can be of data center or they can be part of your cloud as well. Okay, then we are having one CA server as well, which is going to be present, which is going to do authentication for your controllers. Okay, so for your controllers, and it's going to provide the initial certificates. Okay, so CA server can also be your public CA you can use, or enterprise CA. Okay, we're gonna have a complete discussion of 1.5 hour or 2 hour on certificate part only. Okay, and we will have a complete lab over it. Okay, so let me just quickly show you the lab workbook over which we're gonna work, and then we're gonna wrap up for today. So just give me a second.
So, what is the minimum requirement for SD-WAN? Like
Minimum requirement
minimum
means
requirement of like branches.
that is not any criteria that they mentioned,
Exactly.
but again, it depends on your organization,
Yes, yes,
on your management.
yes, yes. Right.
Okay, so this is the first part of our workbook. Total, we are having 10 different parts over which we're gonna configure. So this is what we're gonna start from the scratch. And tomorrow we're gonna do these labs, which is configuring our providers, configuring our vManage, which is our first controller. Then second controller vBond, configure vSmart. Okay. And then one of the edges we're gonna configure. Okay, so this is what we do tomorrow. Okay. This is the same topology with all the credentials, all that stuff. So again, this is what we're gonna do tomorrow, and after that, from next week onwards, this meeting is gonna be logged only for enrolled students. So though we're gonna configure the whole lab from the scratch, okay, and we're gonna start with the batch, okay.
So
So
what's
tell
the
me if
fee
you have.
structure for this training,
So
please?
fee structure, you're gonna ask from the backend team. Let me give you the chat link to ask to them
Please.
directly, okay, because I also don't know what is fee.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so just a minute. Meanwhile, you can ask any other question if you have.
Sir, how much part has been included in the exam portion of for enterprise core level, as you have in the start you have shown that SD-WAN is
So we're gonna cover
included
the
in
complete course which we are having in your CCNP enterprise. Okay. So we are covering the complete course. Okay, guys. So you can see my screen. This is a WhatsApp number, email ID. So what you can directly contact on the WhatsApp. You can chat. Okay. So this is Mr. Sagar number, which is head of network journey, and backend team is managing this number. Okay. So duration of the course is gonna be 1 month, and we're gonna start next week. Okay, and it is gonna be the classes is gonna be from 6:30 p.m. IST. Okay, which is right now the IST time is 6:22. So like 8 minutes after this. Okay, so today and tomorrow the class is at 5 p.m. IST only. Okay, but then after next week we're gonna shift it to the 6:30 p.m. The batch is gonna start from 6:30 p.m. IST.
It cannot be 7:30.
No, I have other classes as well, but I need to check.
Yeah,
Okay, as
please
per
check, like, because we are having this office timing, so like then it will
But
be
again,
difficult.
as we are having different people from different time zones, so we need to adjust based
Yes,
on that. So
exactly.
you guys can check. It depends on the enrollments and all that stuff. So we're gonna discuss that, okay,
Okay.
later. Yeah. Any other question, guys, before we wrap up? So you can take a screenshot of this, okay, number. And so again, those who are living in India do not need to put 91, okay. You just need to directly do the chat over the number. Okay. Anyone having any other question before we wrap up?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you everyone for joining today. Tomorrow again at the 5 p.m. IST we're gonna meet. Okay, and we're gonna discuss. We're gonna do the configuration on the lab part. Okay. Thank you everyone. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you very much.